Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to CC Jam Flat Glass India's page. We are here for our series called Design Reflections, which we do with architects and designers talking about the past, present, and future of them in the industry, and also talking about design and glass. Talking about glass, which is our core topic, we will be having another designer with us today who is somebody who is profound in the business, is renowned all across India and outside. We will have with us a special guest. We will find out soon who, but let me first give you a little brief about Sissy Jam. Sissy Jam is Europe's #1 glass producer, exporting to 150 countries with operations across 14 countries or 4 continents, if you must say, thus establishing its global presence. They are now one of the top 3 global producers of glass on its main business lines, with 85 years of experience in the glass industry and their strong expertise which they hold. They have a workforce of almost 22,000, earning a revenue of over $3 billion. Okay, so let me tell you a little more about the series before we welcome our guest. It's my pleasure to welcome you all again in today's engaging live series called Design Reflections, presented by Sissy Jam Flat Glass India. As the name suggests, and which I'm sure everybody who's following us would know why we come here for, talking about and reflecting over the past, present, and future of the role of glass in design. We share it with designers who come in and discuss their experiments with glass and also their experiences in the industry, any new technologies that come and been, everything and anything they discuss with us, which is in respect to glass. Today we have with us a very special guest. Her name is architect Gagandeep Kapila from WMA. The intricately talented, artistic and dexterous architect Gagandeep Kapila, she grew up in finding a semblance between creativity and technicality, which is the topic for the day as well. We will talk about functionality and aesthetics, both of glass. So this persuaded her to find a middle ground and realize her true calling, architecture. As naturally it came to her, she recognized that it takes a design-centric approach to establish an unmistakable identity and identifying a stamp in the industry. So we will hear more about her profile and her details on how she got in architecture today in this session. She began her career today in the industry. I think it's been multiple years, and she started when she graduated in 2000s with a degree in architecture from TVB School of Habitat Studies. So it's been 2 decades that she's here with us, and she co-founded the firm called Workshop for Metropolitan Architecture, as we know it, called WMA, with a dedication to extreme design excellence and sophistication in the construction technology. And they have a healthy and collaborative structure in their studio, which paved a way for their team to find innovation paired with imagination. And they have extremely popular projects that they have worked on, and we will hear it from Gagandeep herself. Let me add her, let me invite her so we could know more about. This is architect Himani. I'm here from One Digital. We make your brands known, and we kind of work with architects and designers. Hi Gagandeep, welcome.
Hi, Himani.
Welcome to the live series that we have, and the series is called Design Reflections. As you already know, we are here to know more about you. I have already introduced you to people watching us and our subscribers and guests who are from the industry and who are not from the industry. They are extremely excited to have you, and I'm excited to talk to you today with this engaging series called Design Reflections. It basically talks about the past, present, and future of design and the role of glass in design, which is obviously with the top designers like you who can share their expertise with us and with the people watching us live, so we could go ahead and know more about you. Before we start with our topic, I would really like to know from you, how did architecture came in being for you, and what was your earliest memory when we talk about that you got fascinated with architecture?
It's a pleasure to be on this platform. Of course, Imani, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. And as far as being fascinated with architecture is concerned, I have been supremely fascinated with Santiago Calatrava. His works, his design philosophy, his works are like pieces of art. So he sculpts them. He creates fabulous, fabulous spaces. So that is how I got fascinated with the whole, how you can chisel out a space in a different volume. That is basically, that excited me a lot. So during my graduation is when, the whole process of falling in love happened.
Right, absolutely. And I think till the time you don't fall in love with design, you cannot produce the kind of projects that you are doing currently. So, when I talk about design to execution, so considering this is a process, what is your favorite part of this execution process? Where do you feel that this is my favorite?
My favorite is designing.
Right.
Part of the whole system, the process, the design process is the most close to my heart, because that allows you to really think. But what excites me equally is the execution as well,
Right.
because that is where you see the vision come to light. And so that is equally exciting, but yes, favorite is design.
Right. Right. Okay. So let's go a little off track because I would like to know. We have been talking about WMA. So if you can just probably tell us a little more about any interesting project that you're currently working on, which has an incorporation of glass.
Yes, of course. We are currently working on a project. It's a residential project in Shantiniketan where we have created a solarium in a bedroom, which
Wow.
allows, so my roof, partially my roof is also glass of the bedroom.
Okay.
And we've used multiple systems to allow that to happen. So it has been a great collaborative effort to achieve the kind of spatial quality, visual quality, aesthetics that glass allows us to achieve, practically invisible surfaces.
Right.
So I am currently very excited to see that come to light.
Absolutely. I mean, it sounds really interesting. And, we would be following your page to, probably see the light of the project and see how it shapes up. So, talking about, like you are talking about the current project that you're working on. So, if you can share with us that any latest design trends and technologies that are coming up constantly, and, every day, literally every day, there is something new that we see online, or, when we kind of visit any site. So how do you really keep up with these trends and these evolutions, and how do you put them in your design narrative?
It is challenging, of course, to be up to date with the latest
Yeah.
before your clients bring them to
Yeah.
you. Of course.
Yeah.
So we ensure that we routinely visit exhibitions, international fairs, and keep ourselves to an extent up to date with global technologies, innovations, materials, and because design now is a global, it's a platform where globally everybody is participating.
Right.
So we make sure that we are up to date through these international forums.
Right, absolutely. And I think now with the access of the globe that you have at your hand, clients come up with various requests, and I think the designer needs to be updated with it at all times.
Yes.
So, let's start with the topic that we're here to talk about, and which is today's session talking about, enabling functionality over aesthetics, because that is really important, and especially with glass in architecture, which is a very aesthetical element. I would really want to know how you balance the function and the aesthetic. So, how do you, quantify the use of glass in architecture, considering that India has varied climatic conditions?
See, as part of our design philosophy, we have a very strong connection between our building exterior and interior. So, adding glass as that partition between the exterior and interior allows me that bond between the two. So, a lot of times, a lot of materials are flowing in to the building from the outside, from the landscape coming in. So, glass is a very essential part of the whole system where that is applicable, which allows it to be, a reality. As far as the climatic conditions are concerned, we generally add systems which allow it to be which allow the systems to be thermally sealed, which allow a good barrier of the external elements outside, and it doesn't hinder my interior climatic situations that we are creating ourselves.
Right.
So we do employ systems which allow that barrier to happen without compromising on the aesthetics.
So, absolutely. And I think there has to be a good balance, because you need to maintain the temperature inside, especially when we have spaces where it's too hot, and then there are spaces which is, too claustrophobic. So, you need to have that visual entity in play with glass. Absolutely, I totally agree with you. So, with glass now, which is more than a visual barrier in today's design sense, because initially people used to be skeptic about using glass in, let's say, residential design, because it used to be a commercial setting, or always used in office spaces or workspaces as divisions or barriers and things like that, and partitions. But now people are using it extensively even in residential spaces. So, can you just provide us with some innovative ways where the audience kind of learns in that how glass has been used to enhance the functionality of the structure as well?
See, glass is a very flexible material. It is transparent. It allows light to come in till like insides, wherein a solid wall will not let that happen. So, in terms of it being a visual barrier, more we use it as a physical barrier, not so much as a visual barrier.
Right.
It allows visually, it just creates an illusion that you're in a larger space when
Right.
you're not.
Right.
So, we tend to use glass so that our houses, our residences feel, our projects have that element of volume added, where physically there isn't any.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
we try to use it more for physical partitioning rather than visual partitioning.
Right. Absolutely. That's great. Can you give us maybe some examples of projects where glass has been used, let's say in the interior setup or the exterior setup, in any of your projects, and how it was used in a functional way?
Yes, I could tell you that. Just a minute, I'll just open.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Yes, absolutely. That's a great site, I think, for our audiences also to have a look.
Yes, so this is a partition that was created as a physical barrier between my dining space and my drawing space. And
Right.
at the same time, you see the external glass is also there, which allows the landscape to be part of your sitting area.
Right.
You have your external landscape features flowing in to the building interiors, become part of your dining and your drawing experience as much as they are part of your lounging experience when you are, lounging outside in the lawn.
Right.
Additionally, if you notice, then what we have done here is we have created a, a sliding system,
Right.
which is in the form of a T shape, and all of the central elements open up. So,
Okay.
at the time when you need privacy, when you need the barrier to happen, one particular opening can be accessed.
Okay.
And when you want it to be completely, like a movable, flowing, functional space in case you have a bigger gathering here, you can totally open up the partition and the whole space, brings itself together.
Right. Right.
So this is like a very good example that I thought we could,
Yeah.
all see. So all of my living area is connected to my outside space here.
Yeah.
And similarly, my external area is also, seamlessly connected with the inside.
Absolutely. And I think that's in a multi typology or a multitude of way that glass can be utilized. It doesn't really need to be a boring partition, and it can do much more, I think. And it can be used to create two spaces in one or three spaces in one. And that's a perfect example. Happy to see that. Okay. So, talking about glass being a versatile material, like you said, that it can be deployed in high right of ways. And, are there any limitations or disadvantages? Because we are talking about the positives. So, are there any disadvantages that you have faced as glass as the primary material? Since we are on CC Jam's page, so it'll be great as a feedback if we could get, if there are any challenges.
Of course, there is a challenge. We
Right.
do face a lot of difficulty in arranging jumbo glasses for our projects. So sizes become quite challenging because in locally, wherever we have the factories here, the treatment, the processes here in around us, they do not give us the right solutions to bigger sizes.
Right.
So that's of course a place where I think a lot of evolution can happen around us.
Right.
So we do not have to import glasses, that's something that I would like to give a feedback
Right.
for.
Absolutely. I think they're hearing us out and they will with a solution on that. Okay. So, in what ways do you think uh, transfer impact the overall design and functionality?
See, glass, as I said, is a extremely flexible component of design. You replace your walls with it, and it gives you the sense of volume. You replace your roof with it, and you would feel like you're sitting in an outdoor space where you are still in a covered space.
Yeah.
You replace your floor with
Yeah.
it, and you would feel like you are levitating.
Right. Right.
So it has potential of immense value to transform any spatial arrangement and deconstruct it, construct it all at the same time. It is just about any designer's dream to, if they have an opportunity to design something fabulous, I think it is just there, and it can give you lots of various varieties of style and design, spatial quality with glass.
Right. Absolutely. And I think it fuses well with other materials as well, which is its key quality, that it doesn't really need to be an independent material. It can be fused with multiple materials that then it still works well. Great. So like you've run us through our project, your project, and let's move to probably talking about how from curtain walls to glass houses, the material has literally seen it all, right? So, what do you think is the future of glass when I talk about facade? Because we've seen what is happening in the present. What, according to you, is the future?
See, glass is a exceptionally integratable material. So
Right.
we can integrate it with concrete, we can integrate it with wood, metal, steel. So everything has its own expression, and so does glass. It doesn't take anything away from any other element, but it allows them, like those materials, to shape themselves.
Right.
So there are many times in our massing, when we do facade design, we come across situations where we want an invisible material. So it is there, it is playing its role,
Yeah.
but it is not taking anything away from, the overall composition.
Right. Right.
So in terms of the future of glass, I think, of course, it like it's just it has a huge potential in
Right.
everything.
Absolutely. Okay. So, I would also want to know one more question for you. I have introduced myself about what you do and what WMA is all about. If you can tell us a little more about, what WMA holds for you and how did you start and what current typology of projects that you are working on?
See, we do high-end residences, commercial spaces. Um, we are getting into a lot of resorts now. So we have a lot of challenging design opportunities, and I feel that our design philosophy allows us to not stick to one particular style, but allow various styles to educate our designs as and when the demand arises or what our clients require. So we have a very structured approach
Right.
of simple yet elegant, because creating something simple is more challenging than creating something well, it's more complex to create something simple actually,
Right.
because people see it's very simple, but it takes more effort to create that than to create, like, put five things together and
Yeah.
not make sure that they are in sync with one.
Right. Absolutely. So we'll be on the watch out for what WMA is doing on a regular basis via social media, and you any small that you yeah who are coming to the industry are using multiple.
Himani, I really can't hear you so well.
Yeah. So can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Can you repeat?
So yes. So my last question to you will be for the young designers who are coming into the industry. If you have any feedback for them or any and also really how they material, how they when people wear with
So, for any young designer who's watching it right now, my one, piece of advice would be that just stay true to your passion. It takes a lot of effort. It's not going to come to you easy. A lot of hard work, dedication, and application has to be there. It's a lot more than it visually appears. So be ready for that and give in your heart and soul to it, and yes, boom, you're there.
all right. Thank you for the 30 minutes with you. We loved having you. Uh, let's stay. Let's keep uh, your design expertise. Thank you.
Thank you, Imani. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you everybody who joined us for this live. We're here for Sissy Jam's Design Review, talking about past, present, and future of the role of glass, and also getting an expert opinion of this. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.